Food and eating is a broad topic touching human life and living on so many levels. No matter what gender, religion, cultural background or ethnicity, we all have to eat and drink. If there is one famous, simple saying that conveys the sheer significance of food, then it is this one: you are what you eat. From time immemorial, there have been innumerable different approaches, ideologies and diets all over the world to carry out the secrets of food intake. Yet the science of food, even to this day, remains somewhat a mystery as to what is truly beneficial and what is harmful. Western science has barely touched the surface in understanding the subtle signs and invisible workings of the human body, let alone the subtler signs of how food influences our mind and thought process. Food intake is so much more than just the plain filling of one's belly. All over the world, food brings families and people together. Food and diet is a highly controversial as well as highly emotional charged topic. One aspect is food as medicine. Unique propensities found in certain food items are being used to heal various illnesses and diseases. On the other hand, filling the void displays another side of how food can be used to cope, numb, and distract oneself. Countless different approaches can be found all around the world, and the world is divided very strongly by different food beliefs. What works for one seems not to work for the other. What is standard in one culture is opposed in another. On top of that, the number of chronic diseases and autoimmune illnesses are at an all-time high. The pace of life and globalization made products and food items available in an abundance we've never seen before. Food that has never grown in certain regions can now easily be stored and purchased or is genetically modified to be improved. But that comes with its own implications. Is nature getting it right, or is human intervention getting it right? My very own healing journey shows the vastness of this topic too. When I was 18, I experienced unknown digestion problems. I went to countless Western allopathic doctors and hospitals, and after a myriad of every possible health checkup and test imaginable, the result was always the same. I was told I am perfectly healthy, and yet I still had the same digestive problems. Western medicine then diagnosed me with irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, which they most often diagnose when they are at wit's end and when there is no known cure. During this time, I realized how little modern material science still knows about those matters. My story is not an exception. Autoimmune diseases for which the material science has no known cure are growing at an alarming rate every year. The years that followed, I tried to heal unconventionally. I learned from many different alternative and holistic medicine approaches like Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine. My diet seemed to be the key, yet it was so difficult to find the right approach. Every new approach left me more confused as to what to eat and what not to eat. I tried countless of different diets, be it vegetarian, vegan, paleo, low-fat, raw food, but it always felt like I'm missing something. It didn't feel complete. Then I followed the Western trend of going to the gym. I started to focus on a protein-rich diet. I counted calories and macronutrients and weighed and tracked my diet on my phone. I was obsessed with food now, but deep down, I felt that this is not how it is supposed to be. I felt food is a byproduct that should sustain me, yet in my case, it had become the main product, taking up almost all my time and efforts. The good thing was, over the years I became very sensitive to my food intake. I could feel sometimes after taking just one bite of food if I could digest it well or not, how it would impact my mental and emotional well-being, and I figured I'd feel better on a vegetarian diet. So I turned vegetarian for the mere reason that I was feeling better on it. Over the years, food became much more related to my spiritual journey. I saw a connection of how the food I chose impacted my spiritual practice. But I was still confused to draw clear connections, and I still occasionally ate fish. When I lived with the African indigenous tribe of the Maasai in Kenya for some time, a tribe whose diet consists mainly of 3 things: meat, blood, and milk, I was amazed to see how healthy they looked. They were tall and in great physical shape. I again was confused and became more flexitarian, swaying in between being vegetarian and eating meat. Then something very powerful happened. In one of my self-experiments, I voluntarily lived for 1 month homeless on the streets to see and feel what it's like to have nothing, as I grew up very privileged. During this month on the streets, I remember vividly how much meditation and spirituality helped me to not only get through it, but to even strive in this harsh environment. Inspired by Gandhiji's approach to teaching homeless people the power of fasting, I ate only once per day and very simple vegetarian food. On day 15 of the self-experiment, one person had pity seeing me sleeping outside on the floor and gave me a sandwich with tuna fish. I hadn't eaten fish or meat in a long time, but I felt I could not refuse this offer. I was hungry, and so I ate. But when sometime later I sat down for my daily meditation practice, something very interesting happened. Suddenly, strong emotional waves of fear, angst, and panic swept over me. I was taken aback, as I had not felt those emotions in a long while. Where was this coming from? I wondered. The beauty of this self-experiment was that every day looked the same for me and was super simple. External stimulus was at the minimum. I didn't have any internet or smartphone. I had minimum human interaction, and my diet was very simple. Then it suddenly hit me. The tuna fish appeared in front of my inner eye, and I saw and felt what I believe was the violence that happened to this living being. The act of killing and the fear, panic, and angst of this being echoed in me. A similar occurrence happened to me 6 months later, which convinced me entirely to never go back to eating meat. However, it was only when I came across the food science of Dadaji that all my confusion went away. For the first time, someone was able to connect all the parts and convey it in a simple but straightforward manner. Suddenly it all made sense. Finally, all my convictions got reinforced when I lived in an Indian village in December 2021 as a guest of my friend Patel's family and joined myself enjoying Dadaji's food science in practice. He has given valuable inputs in this publication. Even the toughest questions that I faced got answered. A plant and an animal are both alive, hence why to eat one but not the other? Is it okay to eat milk and its products? And what about eggs? What is the origin of disease? And how does food impact my subtle spiritual advancement? To all these questions and many more, the following book, a compilation of Dada Bhagwan's conversations with seekers, will give clear answers. I hope you, dear reader, enjoy Dadaji's enlightening food science as much as I do. May this serve you well, and may you find the answers you're looking for.